Well, it's time to take the engine out. I need the back wheel on to figure out what's going on with the back fender. But it's time to take this out so I can start working on it. And first off, I gotta take the chain off. Holy cow, is it ever loose. Small one on the bottom, little one on the top, or 10 mil on the bottom, on the top. Okay, got it supported. Let's start taking some of the bolts off here. Now, this is a big one. This one's bigger than a 12. That's got to be one of the main supports on this. Big long one there too, covered with oil and grit. Huh, that's clipped on underneath here too. Alright, there we go. Nice and dirty, lots of cleanup to do on that sucker also. Yeah. That's gross. Once we take this piece out of here, we should be able to swing the engine right out. By we, I mean me, because nobody's here helping me. Paige. There's that piece. That mounts at the bottom. This is the one that was missing. It's a relatively simple bolt. I should be able to find one. I'll take it over to the hardware store. Find one out. Okay, bottom. Yeah, as soon as I'm loosening this, the engine's swinging out because these brackets were holding it in. There we go. Those guys. Okay. There we go. Well, there she is. The engine's out. There's the frame. Just the back wheel left on and the swing arm. Excellent. It's starting to, well, I would say come together, but come apart. Alright, this piece is so disgusting, I almost don't even want to touch it. Oh, it's just, you can see all the buildup in here, and it's all over it, all over it. It's horrible. This is the kickstand, and this is the mount for the pegs. So, I'm going to put some gloves on and try and confront this, see if I can't get this a little better. At least you can stand to touch this now. Actually, you can see the paint on it is still pretty good. It's, I mean, it's a little bit scratched up in places, but it's still not bad. There is some rust building up here on the kickstand side, the left side, and the kickstand itself. But we'll throw it in the sandblaster, clean it up, and then powder coat that. Once I get some coating, some powder. You can see all the grit build up in this. Ugh. Arm wrestle it up there, I guess. But it's not that heavy anyway. There we go. Take that off. There we go. Whew. Okay, I just want to take a walk around of the engine here before I get started. It looks like it's pretty well painted. The center part, which I want black, is already black. There is a couple of spots here where the paint is chipped off, so it will need some touch-up painting at least, but I will want to mostly just clean this up and see what shape it's in. This where the rear cog goes needs a lot of cleanup. There's a lot of oil, probably from grease off of the chain. Going to take this off and powder coat it once I get some paint. Also the top. We'll take the top off here and powder coat it as well. This mount here where the carburetor sits, it comes off, and we'll powder coat that piece as well. Let's get around the other side here and see what kind of shape this is in. And this is the clutch cover. And of course that's going to come off. I've got a new dipstick coming in because this is all bleached out. Under here, quite a bit of dirt and grease. And it's just probably sat too long and never cleaned up that much. Let's take a look at the front. Front looks okay. Again, just needs some cleanup. In the fins, some cleanup. Once we clean it all up, the starter motor, we'll probably take it off and clean it up. Maybe paint it if I can get some of the pieces off. But all in all, the motor is not in too bad a shape. I think it just needs a decent cleanup. You can see where all the dirt, grime is built up over years. And touch up some of that paint, just revitalize it, make it look like new. Alright, time to put a little elbow grease on this engine. Let's see what we can do about cleaning this up. Okay. This is where the carburetor goes straight into the engine. Some seals in the back here. I'll have to clean this up. I will probably paint this. I won't be able to. The rubber here is directly onto the metal, so there's no way I'll be able to powder coat that, but we might be able to paint it up as well. But I'll clean it and sand it and give it a good revitalization. Ultimately, I'm going to have these pieces off, and these covers I'm going to powder coat. But I don't want to take them off, because then it'll save me from having to tape all of this off while I paint it. And I don't want any paint inside the engine, so I want to do as a minimal amount of taping as I possibly need to. So I'm going to leave these pieces on, paint around them. I'll tape this off a little bit here, but then I won't have to worry about getting anything inside. I do have new gaskets for all of these pieces coming, so they will be coming off this piece as well. There's a lot of little nooks and crannies in here though, and that's what's making it hard to clean. And I don't want any bits of dirt left in any corners, because then the paint won't stick in there. And you can see the paint is in mostly good condition, but it is coming off in a lot of spots. And here, under here, it's mostly good. Of course, it was covered, except where the chain was rubbing maybe, or... So now we can better see the path of the cable that goes to the starter. This is the starter cable, and you see it's got this better sheath down here around the engine. It'll go around like this and come up and connect to the battery like that. So I'm just going to pull these off here so we can pull this cable out. So there's a little that's smaller than a 10, Well, I don't have a ratchet adapter for that size, so I'm going to go old school on this sucker. Get that out of the way a little more. Ooh, that one's extra long on this side. I suspect this one will probably be about the same. So the long ones, medium ones, short ones in the front. That one is its own size, so that's the odd size. There we go. That comes off. Got everything in here. Of course, this is all wrecked, which I thought it would. This comes off here. Okay. That cable, chain for the starter. So I really just wanted this out of the way and put this back on for now. Let's see what all this stuff is in here. When I powder coat this, all of this stuff is going to have to come out of here. So, but I'll worry about that after I degrease this and clean it up. So I'll put this back on. That. Let's take these off as well. I'm sure those are 8s. Are they? There we go. Comes right off of there. Get that. Boot is not very good. I might have to order a new boot there or find a new boot for that. Okay, there's our starter. Well, I got most of the muck off. I'm thinking all of the muck off, but just go over it again with some soap, some mild soap. Just get it a little bit cleaner before I prep it for painting. Alright, just want to get a good look here of what it looks like pre-prep and painting. You know, the paint is mostly in good shape, but it is scratched up everywhere. Inside the heating fins looks okay. I don't know how much paint I'm going to be able to get down in there. But at least I'll be able to get the edges where you can see. And down inside there is not too bad off anyway. A little bit of overspray is not that big a deal on a lot of these parts because I'm going to refinish them anyway. Alright, I think that's most of it. I'm not going to tape the spark plugs. The spark plugs themselves are my paint tape. I'm going to pull them out and put new ones in anyway. So we'll just leave that. Right. And again, I'm not too worried about too much overspray. These parts, they're all going to get sandblasted and powder coated anyway. I want to keep as much off as I can, but this is just going to be overspray. Okay, let's try getting a little paint on this and seeing what it does. So I'm using this high heat enamel. I have to get this from multiple different angles to make sure I get everything. I don't want to put it on too thick or it'll run, because I don't want any runs. I'll have to refinish that. So let's let that dry a little and then we'll flip it over and we'll do it from a different angle. So I'm liking the way that this black looks on here. Obviously these parts are not done yet. I'm gonna disassemble that. But I want to just protect this in the meantime. So I've got some of this ceramic, which I'll put around here to sort of keep this clean while we are in the process of doing the rest of it. And this is going to be a little bit of a process of wrap and then disassemble and then wrap and disassemble. So let me just get some of this going here. I'm going to put this piece of cardboard around the bottom to further protect where it sits when it's on the ground in the garage. Okay, let's start with this one. There we go. All of my cams and everything under there. So that no dust gets in there. I'm missing two here, but I think I took those out at a different point because there was also some kind of a bracket on there or some kind of a mount on there. So they've got to be somewhere else that I'll put together. as I get going. Okay, there we go, clutch box. Of course, I'm going to have to clean all this up because I've got a new gasket coming in. Doesn't look like any stuck to that side. That's good news. I'll have to take apart this. The cog here and the chain for the starter. I am going to do I have something I can stick in there to keep it tight for the meantime?